upon a time, in the bustling town of Ibadan, there lived a young woman named Ajoke. She was the daughter of a wealthy cocoa merchant, Bamidele, who was known across the town for his riches. Ajoke had everything money could buy: beautiful clothes, expensive jewelry, and luxurious carriages. But despite her wealth, she was not happy. Ajoke had watched her friends marry men who only cared about their money. Some of these men pretended to love, but once they got married, their true colors showed. Ajoke feared that if she married someone who only wanted her father's wealth, she would be miserable forever. One evening, Ajoke overheard her father discussing an offer from Chief Adedayo, a rich man who wanted Ajoke to marry his son Bayo. Ajoke had met Bayo once and knew he wasn't the kind of man she wanted. He was arrogant and treated his servants poorly. Ajoke decided to take matters into her own hands. Ajoke went to her best friend Morayo and shared her plan. "I will pretend to be poor," she said. "I want to see who will love me for me and not for my father's wealth." Morayo was shocked. "Are you sure this will work?" she asked. "It has to," Ajoke replied with determination. Ajoke cut her hair, wore old clothes, and moved to a small compound in a different part of town. She took a job selling roasted corn by the roadside. She wanted to live like an ordinary person and meet someone who could love her without knowing her background. In her new life, Ajoke met a young man named Oluwole. Oluwole was a carpenter who worked hard every day to make ends meet. He was kind, humble, and respectful. Ajoke noticed how he treated everyone around him with care, no matter their status. One day, Oluwole bought roasted corn from Ajoke. "Your corn is the sweetest I've ever tasted," he said with a smile. Ajoke laughed. "It's not the corn, it's the way I roast it," she replied. They became friends, and over time, Oluwole started to develop feelings for Ajoke. But there was a problem. Oluwole thought Ajoke was poor like him. One afternoon, while working together, Oluwole asked Ajoke, "What do you dream about? What do you want in life?" Ajoke hesitated. She didn't want to lie, but she couldn't tell him the truth yet. "I just want to be happy," she said softly. Oluwole looked at her and smiled. "I want to make you happy, Ajoke." Ajoke's heart skipped a bit, but she was filled with doubt. Would Oluwole still feel the same if he knew she was rich? Meanwhile, Chief Adedayo had not given up on the idea of Ajoke marrying Bayo. He sent men to search for her, and they eventually found out where she was hiding. They reported back to her father, Bamidele, who became furious. One evening, as Ajoke and Oluwole were sitting outside a small compound, a group of men arrived in expensive cars. Ajoke froze when she saw her father step out. "Ajoke, what is the meaning of this?" Bamidele shouted. Oluwole was confused. "Who are these people?" he asked. Ajoke's secret was about to be exposed, and she didn't know what to do. Would Oluwole accept her for who she truly was? Would her father force her to marry Bayo? Or would Ajoke finally find the true love she had been searching for? Ajoke's heart pounded as her father Bamidele marched closer. Oluwole stood beside her, his eyes wide with confusion. "Ajoke, is this where you've been all this time? Pretending to be poor? Selling roasted corn by the roadside?" Bamidele's voice was loud and filled with anger. Ajoke stepped forward, her voice trembling. "Baba, I had to do this. I needed to know if someone could love me for me, not because of your money." Bamidele frowned and glanced at Oluwole. "And who is this?" he asked coldly. "My friend," Ajoke said quickly. "His name is Oluwole." Oluwole, still unsure of what was happening, stepped forward and greeted respectfully. "Good evening, sir. I didn't know Ajoke had such a wealthy father." Bamidele ignored him. and turned back to his daughter. Do you know what you've done, Ajoke? Chief Adedayo has been asking for you. Do you want to bring shame to our family? I don't care about Chief Adedayo or his son, Ajoke replied firmly. I want a man who will love me for who I am, not for what you own. The weight of the truth hits Oluwole like a storm. He turned to Ajoke, his voice low. So, all this time, you've been lying to me? You're not the person I thought you were? Ajoke's eyes filled with tears. I didn't lie about who I am. I just hid where I came from because I wanted to be sure of your intentions. Oluwole shook his head. You should have trusted me enough to tell the truth. Now, I don't even know if I can believe anything you said. Bamidele saw Oluwole's distress and smirked. You see, Ajoke, this is why you don't mix with people below your class. They don't understand us. Stop it, Baba, Ajoke shouted. Oluwole is kind, hardworking and genuine. He's everything I've ever wanted. But Oluwole took a step back. Ajoke, I need time to think. This is too much for me. Without another word, he walked away, leaving Ajoke in tears. Ajoke returned home with her father, but her heart felt heavier than ever. Bamidele thought he had won, but Ajoke was determined to fight for her happiness. Meanwhile, Oluwole struggled with his feelings. He loved Ajoke, but the thought of her deception gnawed at him. Could he ever trust her again? Back at the mansion, Chief Adedayo and his son Bayo arrived to finalize wedding plans. Ajoke refused to come downstairs, locking herself in her room. I won't marry him, Baba. You can't force me, she shouted through the door. You will do as I say, Ajoke, Bamidele rolled back. But Ajoke had a plan. She sent Mariah to find Oluwole and deliver a letter explaining everything, her reasons, her fears, and her true feelings. Would Oluwole read the letter and forgive her? Would Ajoke's father succeed in forcing her to marry Bayo? And what would happen if Chief Adedayo uncovered Ajoke's secret life? Ajoke's world was hanging by a thread, and the next decision she made could change her life forever. Oluwole sat in a small workshop, staring at the letter in his hand. It had arrived with Murayo, who pleaded with him to read it before making any decisions. After a long sigh, Oluwole opened the letter and began to read. Dear Oluwole, I know you feel hurt, and you have every right to be. I didn't mean to deceive you, but I had to be sure of your heart before opening mine completely. I've seen too many people trapped in marriages built on lies and greed. I didn't want that for myself or for you. I fell in love with your kindness, your honesty, and your hardworking spirit. You made me laugh when life felt heavy, and for the first time, I felt seen for who I truly am, not for my wealth or family name. Please, Oluwole, don't let my mistake ruin what we've built. If you feel the same way I do, come to me. If not, I will understand. Oluwole's heart softened as he read her words. He could feel her sincerity, but doubts lingered. Could he fit into a world of wealth and privilege? Could he ever trust her again? Back at the mansion, Ajoke's father was growing impatient. Chief Adedayo and Bayo were in the living room, sipping palm wine and discussing the engagement ceremony. This weekend, we will make it official, Chief Adedayo declared confidently. Ajoke will marry my son, and our families will unite. Bamidele nodded, ignoring Ajoke's protests. Upstairs, Ajoke sat by her window, staring into the distance. She clutched the small bracelet Oluwole had once given her. I won't let this happen, she whispered to herself. She decided to take a bold step. She packed a small bag and climbed out of her window, sneaking past the mansion guards. She had only one place to go, Oluwole's workshop. As Ajoke approached the workshop, she saw Oluwole standing outside, holding the letter, her heart raised. Oluwole, she called softly. He turned to her, his expression unreadable. Ajoke, what are you doing here? I couldn't stay at home. They are forcing me to marry someone I don't love, she said, her voice trembling. Oluwole sighed. Ajoke, this is all so complicated. I don't know if I can be with someone whose world is so different from mine. Ajoke stepped closer, her eyes pleading. Oluwole, I don't care about wealth or status. All I care about is you. Please give us a chance. Before Oluwole could respond, they heard the sound of car engines. Turning around, they saw two black SUVs pulling up. Ajoke's father, Chief Adedayo, and several armed men stepped out. Hello wonderful people, hello guys, welcome again, welcome back to my channel. This is Millie's Stories and Folktales speaking. Thank you each and every one of you that are subscribed. Thank you so much. To those that keep on coming back to watch, to those that like my videos, to those that share my videos, to those that keep wonderful comments down below, I say thank you so much. It is me saying thank you to each and every one of you that are subscribed to my channel. Thank you for 447 thus far. Thank you for everything that you guys have been doing. Thank you so much. And this is me begging and pleading to those that have not subscribed yet. I don't know what is going on, but please guys, help me grow. Subscribe to my channel. Subscription is free. You're not paying. It is very, very free. Subscribe, continue to engage, continue to encourage me to do more. Thank you to every one of you that have been showing me so much love. Thank you. I really do appreciate, and I hope those that have not subscribed will start subscribing. Thank you. Let's get back right into the story. Ajoke, Bamidele shouted angrily. How dare you run away from home? Chief Adedayo looked at Oluwole with disdain. So this is the carpenter you've been wasting your time with? Bamidele pointed at Oluwole. Stay away from my daughter, or you will regret it. Ajoke stepped in front of Oluwole, her voice steady. No, Baba, you can't scare him away. I love him and I won't marry anyone else. Chief Adedayo laughed mockingly. Love? Do you think love will put food on your table? This man has nothing to offer you. Oluwole clenched his fist, his pride wounded. I may not have much, but I'll have something your money can't buy. Integrity. The tension was thick as everyone stared at each other. Ajoke's father issued an ultimatum. Ajoke, you have until tomorrow to come home and agree to marry Bayo, or you will lose everything, including me as your father. Ajoke's heart broke at her father's words, but she stood firm. I would rather lose everything than marry someone I don't love. Bamidele stormed back into his car, furious, while Chief Adedayo followed suit. Before leaving, he warned Oluwole, you don't know what you've gotten yourself into. Stay away from her, or you will pay for the price. As the car sped away, Ajoke turned to Oluwole, tears streaming down her face. What do we do now? Oluwole took a deep breath, his eyes filled with determination. We fight together. But how would they stand against such powerful forces? What price would they have to pay for their love? The following day, tension rippled through Bamidele's mansion. Chief Adedayo and his son Bayo arrived with elders to finalize the engagement ceremony. Bamidele was resolute in forcing Ajoke to comply, but Ajoke wasn't there. She and Oluwole had spent the night planning their next steps. They knew they couldn't outmatch Bamidele's wealth or influence, but they could stand united. By midday, Oluwole, dressed in his best but modest attire, approached the mansion's massive gates. His heart pounded, but his resolve was firm. The guard stopped him. Where do you think you're going? One backed. I'm here to see Bamidele, Oluwole replied, standing tall. The guards laughed mockingly. You? Do you have an appointment? No, Oluwole said firmly, but I won't leave until I speak to him. Bamidele's anger fled when he was informed of Oluwole's presence. That boy has no shame, is pat. Let him in, Chief Adedayo said smugly. Let's see what this pauper has to say. When Oluwole entered, the room fell silent. The elders, Chief Adedayo, Bamidele, and Bayo all stared at him. Oluwole greeted them respectfully, his voice steady. I'm here because I love Ajoke and I want to marry her. The room erupted in laughter. Chief Adedayo smirked. You? What do you have to offer her? Oluwole met his gaze. I may not have riches, but I have an honest heart, hard work, and love that money can't buy. Isn't that what truly matters? Bamidele slammed the table. What matters is that my daughter marries someone who can maintain her family status, not a poor carpenter. Before anyone could respond, Ajoke walked into the room, her head held high. She wore a simple dress and natural beauty glowing. Baba, she said calmly, if you force me to marry Bayo, you will lose me forever. Bamidele's face darkened. Are you threatening me, Ajoke? No, Baba, she replied. I'm choosing my own happiness. I love Oluwole and nothing you do will change that. Chief Adedayo stood, his voice dripping with contempt. You're making a grave mistake, young lady. Do you think this carpenter can protect you when things go wrong? Ajoke's voice was steady. I would rather face struggles with Oluwole than live in a gilded cage with someone I don't love. Bamidele glared at his daughter. You've embarrassed me, Ajoke. You've brought shame to this family. Ajoke's eyes filled with tears, but she held her ground. I'm not ashamed of my choices, Baba. I'm ashamed of how you value money over happiness. Bamidele turned to Oluwole, his voice cold. If you think you can marry my daughter, prove your worth. Build her a house. Show me you can take care of her. Oluwole nodded. I will, sir. I will work day and night if I have to, but I won't give up on Ajoke. Ajoke's heart swelled with pride, but she knew her father wasn't done. Bamidele smirked. You have 1 month. If you fail, she marries Bayo. As Oluwole and Ajoke left the mansion, they both felt the weight of the challenge. Oluwole had little time and even fewer resources. I will help you, Ajoke said determinedly. No, Oluwole replied. This is my fight. I need to show your father I can stand on my own. Ajoke nodded, though her heart ached. She believed in Oluwole, but the odds seemed impossible. Later that evening, Morayo approached Oluwole. You don't have to do this alone, she said. What do you mean? Oluwole asked. Morayo smiled. There are people who believe in true love and will help you. Let me gather them. Meanwhile, rumors of the challenge spread throughout the community. Some mocked Oluwole, while others admired his courage. As the days ticked by, Oluwole worked tirelessly, cutting wood, laying bricks, and refusing to give up. But unknown to him, Bamidele and Chief Adedayo were plotting behind the scenes to sabotage his efforts. Would Oluwole succeed in building the house? Could love truly conquer the forces against them? The months flew by and the day of reckoning arrived. Oluwole had poured his soul into building the house, using every ounce of strength, skill, and creativity he possessed. The structure wasn't extravagant, but it was sturdy, warm, and filled with love. The community marveled at his determination, and many had even pitched in secret to support him. Ajoke stood by his side, her faith unwavering. But her father, Bamidele, and Chief Adedayo arrived with skepticism written all over their faces. Is this what you call a house? Bamidele sneered as he inspected the modest building. Before Oluwole could respond, Ajoke stepped forward. Yes, Baba, this is a home. It may not have gold walls or marble floors, but it's built with love, honesty, and hard work, the things that truly matter. Chief Adedayo smirked. Love doesn't pay bills, young lady. Maybe not, Ajoke replied, but greed destroys families. That's a lesson I hope you both learned today. As Bamidele looked at his daughter, he saw something he hadn't noticed before, her strength. She wasn't the naive child he once controlled, but a determined woman who knew what she wanted. Oluwole stepped forward. Sir, I know this house may not meet your standards, but it's a beginning. I will continue to work hard to ensure Ajoke lives a comfortable life. All I ask for, a chance to prove myself. The sincerity in Oluwole's voice shook Bamidele. Memories of his own humble beginnings flooded his mind. How he had once been a strongly man who fought to build his empire. He realized he had forgotten the values that brought him success, perseverance, humility, and love. Bamidele sighed deeply. Oluwole, I see now that you're not just a carpenter. You're a man of character. You've earned my respect. Ajoke's eyes widened in disbelief. Baba, does that mean? Bamidele nodded. Yes, Ajoke, you have my blessing. Chief Adedayo, however, wasn't ready to concede. You're making a mistake, Bamidele. This boy can never match what my son can offer. Bamidele turned to him, his voice firm. A man's worth isn't measured by his wealth, but by his integrity. Your son may have riches, but Oluwole has earned something far greater, my daughter's love. Chief Adedayo left in a huff, taking Bayo with him. For the first time, Bamidele didn't care about the opinions of others. A few months later, Oluwole and Ajoke were married in a simple yet joyous ceremony, attended by the entire community. It wasn't a grand affair, but it was filled with love, laughter, and the blessings of those who mattered most. During the reception, Bamidele stood up to give a toast. His words left everyone silent. I almost lost my daughter because I let pride and greed cloud my judgment. Today, I've learned that love and hard work are worth more than gold. Oluwole reminded me of the man I used to be, and for that, I am grateful.